Hello, everyone. We are back with another episode.
That's right. Next come the heavy artillery. Presidential more like Michelle, not Hillary. Feel me? Push the whip on the set.
I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a good weekend, whether it was just Thanksgiving that you had off or if you had off Thursday and Friday and the weekend. I hope that you had an amazing weekend. We're going into December. I hope the last month of the year is just full of surprises for everybody. I hope that we all can just close out the year on a good note. I'm praying that 2026 brings in a bunch of different blessings, that everyone is able to accomplish new goals and just set the bar high for themselves, and whatever you set as a goal for yourself for the new year, I hope that you're actively working on that now, because we shouldn't be waiting for January to start things. We should be starting now so that we can bring in the new year on a good foot. So hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving, and I hope that, the holidays bring happiness and joy to you and your families. For today's topic, I did want to talk about the importance of community, being that it was Thanksgiving a few days ago. I just feel like community is so important. It's important to have people around you that support you, that are there for you, that just have your back, because during times where you may need an extra helping hand or to be uplifted, you might need other people to step in and help you feel whole, or to just help you in the areas where you might be weak. So sometimes we make good friendships, good partnerships with people who might be better in a certain area than we are. And I think it's important that we utilize other people's strengths and know when those strengths can help balance out our weaknesses. I think that it's super important to not downplay your weaknesses, because there's always other people that are strong in those areas that can help you build in those weaker areas. Also, not only that, the importance of community, it can be nationwide. Like, there are philanthropists, millionaires, billionaires that can, of course, help give money and give back and do those types of things. But also, do what you can do on your level for your community. Like, for example, last year I did want to give back for Thanksgiving and help out. Certain circumstances didn't allow that to happen. But this year, I was able to give back on Thanksgiving Day, actually, and that made me feel so good. I felt like I gave back in a way that I was able to. You can definitely do what you can on your level. You don't have to think, oh my gosh, I need to have so much money, or I need to have so much time, or I need to have a certain amount of resources. As long as you're giving back and you're being that person in your community that's helping out for a greater cause, the bigger cause, on the level that you can, then I feel like you did a good thing and you helped out. You did what you had to do. We can't all do certain things that we may want to do, but I feel like as long as you're pushing yourself, you're actively working towards what you want to do. That may be, one year you might want to be able to donate hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, but this year you may not have been able to do that. But as long as you're always pushing yourself, working on your goals, actively working on your goals, and continuing to try and be better, you should eventually be able to reach that level of being able to just help. I feel like there's always somebody less fortunate that needs the help, even if it's not necessarily doing that type of work. Like, if you see somebody that you know could benefit from something you know how to do, I feel like you need to definitely try with them. Like, try and maybe help them understand how business works. There's so many people trying to scale a business, just trying to become better in certain areas that they were never taught about growing up. And I just feel like community is so important, even with me, like living in kind of like a small community area where I do have neighbors. I was able to give back in like even the smallest way. I did have like a little bit of extra food, and I was able to give a plate away to one of my neighbors who actually ended up letting me know like he didn't eat for Thanksgiving. So I feel like community is a beautiful thing when you can help out and you can provide for the less fortunate, or they may not even be less fortunate. They may have it, but just everyone needs support on different levels. And I think people forget that. I think that everyone needs to sometimes get back to, how can I say this? Everyone needs to get back to like reality in a way. Not, so to speak, like saying you need to go outside and touch grass. I mean, some of you do though. Some of you do need to go outside and touch grass. However, I just feel like sometimes we forget the things that are important, and sometimes we need whatever helps you get back to understanding and remembering what's important. I feel like you should do it. I feel like you should maybe self-isolate. Figure out what's important to you without the outside distractions, like you being around your friends and what their thoughts and their opinions are, or looking at social media, or just being influenced by these celebrities or these different shows that you might be into or watch, because those are those people's lives. We have our own lives, and sometimes I think we forget what we might want in the process of just all these outside factors. Because let's be honest, a lot of these things, if we didn't have the influence of like these outside opinions and social media, we wouldn't even care really about certain things that we might actually think are important. So I just feel like put what you want into perspective. Look at that, take a look at that. Really sit back and look at what's important. I do feel like I have been coming across people who like are tired of all of this fabrication and just the nonsense that's been going on, because it's been going on for long enough, where people are actually starting to sit back and think like, what's really important? Because this is not important. Whether that be like just an image, or like the aesthetic of how something might look online, or how something might seem to be, you know, things seem to be a certain way a lot, but it's only when you actually try to attain it and actually say to yourself, is this does this feel right, that you actually come to realize that it may not really matter to you the way that you think. So I feel like it's super important for us to really just ask ourselves what we feel like is important, for us to come together, for us not to be so divided, for us to be more unified. Because I feel like the more that we get back to the real things and what actually matter, the more unity we'll have. You just have to be able to understand and just do the right thing. Guys, another week. Okay, I came back another week, but I'm gonna be back every week. I'm not gonna let you guys down. I do enjoy coming on and speaking positively, speaking positivity. Just trying to drop little gems here and there. Christmas is coming up. I know the holidays may not be the best for certain people who may not have like that family that family oriented thing going on, or maybe you've lost loved ones, or just a lot of, just a lot of different factors where you may not be excited about the holidays. But for those of you that are, I hope that you have an amazing holiday, that you bring in the holiday in a joyful spirit. I know for me, the holidays can be 50-50, There are loved ones that aren't around. There, our family that don't live out here or that are kind of estranged. So, I tend to make it a happy one for myself and pretty joyful, and just find the things to do that are going to uplift me and keep me in good spirits. And I hope that you guys do that as well. And like I said, community, come together, all right? But guys, remember to follow me. So I'm going to try to reiterate this every episode. Follow me on Instagram, CHANELLSHOW. TikTok and YouTube handles are the same. It's CHANELLSHOW. And that's pretty much it. My Facebook is private, but I think I did say that you could follow me on my Facebook on one of my prior episodes. But guys, just make sure that you continue to tune in, tell a friend to tell a friend, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next week. Peace out.